Hello, Wolfpack families. Welcome to today's Facebook Live event, and thank you for taking the time to join us. My name is Valerie Oti, and I'm the Associate Director for the Office of Parents and Family Services. Student involvement in college matters. Getting involved and staying involved is one of the most important decisions your student will make while in college. It makes for a great college experience. Students get to have a sense of belonging, and it also prepares them for a successful and meaningful future. Before we get started, or before we get to hear about the amazing opportunities available through the Office of Student Leadership and Engagement, I would like to take a few minutes to share a few housekeeping notes. This session is being recorded and would live on the Parents and Family Services Facebook page after the live broadcast. So you'll have an opportunity to rewatch this session at your convenience. We would love to hear from you. So at any point during this live session, if you have any questions, please feel free to submit those questions through the comments function located at the bottom of your screen. We also know that as PAC parents, you will have questions about other resources on campus. But to maximize our time this evening, we're going to focus on the amazing opportunities available through student leadership and engagement. If at any point you have any question, please do not hesitate to contact the Office of Parents and Family Services. We're a resource office here on campus and always available to support you during this next leg or during this leg of your students' academic journey. With that said, I would like to turn it over to our campus partners to give them an opportunity to introduce themselves. Thank you.
Awesome. Hey everyone, my name is Carly May. I use she, her pronouns. I'm the Assistant Director of Alternative Service Breaks and Community Engagement with Student Leadership and Engagement, and I'm here with Christina. We're going to talk to you a little bit about the great opportunities that we have in our office. We love getting to work with your students, and so we're excited to share a little bit with you. So I'll toss it over to Christina, who will get us started.
Beautiful. Hey, y'all, Christina Freeman. I serve as our coordinator of outreach and engagement within our office. My primary job is to get students connected to all the great opportunities within our office and across campus. So very excited to talk to you about student leadership and engagement. So who we are as an office, our mission is really to facilitate and connect students to meaningful leadership development opportunities, campus involvement, and civic and community engagement. And then you'll see whenever we're talking about student leadership and engagement, our office is really under these three umbrellas and program areas that we really focus in on intentionally. So you have a lot of civic and community engagement ranging from being able to travel abroad and do direct service in our alternative service breaks to maybe a more one-time commitment and getting involved in the local community. We have leadership programming, things like one-time workshops, really honing in and developing on individual leadership strengths. And then we have our engagement and activity section. So all 600 plus student organizations falling within our office, and just a lot of good ways to get involved within these pillars specifically. And then these next three slides will kind of delve a little bit deeper into all the phenomenal opportunities within our office. So our civic and community engagement bucket really offers a robust amount of ways for students to get involved. So alternative service breaks and mystery service Saturdays, Carly will be talking about in just a little bit, but all the great things ranging from like voter engagement and raising awareness on how to vote and voting processes. We also have our online service portal, our active citizenry series, and even things like being able to take academic classes and getting course credit for participating in service. Then we have our leadership development pillar. So we really focus in on individual and group leadership. So things like Rising Leaders, which is an opportunity for first years and first year transfer students exclusively. We have our 10-week leadership development certificate, our student leader awards, where we really are intentionally trying to recognize our students and all the phenomenal things that they're doing across campus and making sure that they feel recognized in that way. We do student organization leadership as well. With over 600 student organizations, we are really trying to capitalize and be intentional about how we're preparing our executive members within those student organizations so that they feel well equipped to lead their own student organizations. And we also have our Gallup-Clifton strengths. So we're really focusing in on how can you leverage your strengths and utilizing those, whether that's for getting a future internship or even being able to just talk about that as you're making new connections across campus. And then that third pillar that I mentioned is engagement and activities. So 750 student organizations, our student employment and internship programs, we're really intentional on wanting to be able to expand those opportunities to our students. So being able to actually work on campus and work within student leadership and engagement in different ways so that you're developing in those soft skills while also being able to be impactful right on campus. We have our University Activities Board and our Black Students Board as well, which really plan a lot of amazing programs that make the university even more fun. And then we have our student government as well.
Awesome. So I'll talk to y'all a little bit about some of our service programs that your students can get involved in. So starting with our local community engagement programs, we have a program called Mystery Service Saturday, which happens right here in the Triangle. So about every other week on Saturday, we take a group of students out where they do a couple hours of service with a local nonprofit and then some kind of fun local community engagement activity. The goal of this program is to kind of get students outside of that NC State bubble, help them see our community a little bit more and feel a little bit more connected to the Triangle. Transportation, food, all costs, things like that are covered by our office, so it's entirely free for students to participate. And we do a variety of different activities. So some of the fun ones we've done in the past, we typically theme them. So we'll do like sweet potato farming and then go to a fall festival or something like that. But great opportunity for your student to meet new friends, get out into the Raleigh community, and spend their Saturday with us. We also have a lot of nonprofit partners across the Triangle that your students are available to volunteer with directly. And so we have this service site, service.dasa.ncsu is how your students will get there. All students of NC State have free login with this, so they can make a profile and they can search some of our nonprofit pages so they can find out opportunities that best fit their needs, whether that be something that's connected to their academic major or something that works with their time commitment. Some of them are walkable as well. So if your student doesn't have access to transportation, there are ones directly around campus that they can engage with. But this platform is a really great opportunity for your students to kind of check out what's going on in our local community and get involved. And I'm always happy to meet with students to help them figure out what might be the best path for them. And then we have our alternative service break program. So this is a really popular program. I love it very much and I recommend it to everyone who will hear me talk about it. So this happens during university breaks. So fall break, winter break, spring break, and then in May, right after finals. We take students to both domestic and international locations and have them engage with a group of students and with a local community partner around community engagement work. So we do education on the front end and then a lot of service, reflection, and recreational activities while they're on trip to give them that cultural immersion aspect and understand the community that we're serving with and trying to meet that need. It's a really great option for your student if they're wanting to study abroad but maybe don't want to commit for the whole semester. It's a week long typically and it has a very service-based focus. We do have travel scholarships that are available. That's usually the number one question that I get from parents is how do we fund this experience? So each trip is directly funded by the participants, but we do have some travel scholarships available. So we have some partnerships across campus. So if your student is a College of Engineering student and they're a fee-paying student, which most of them are, then they automatically get their flight covered through this program. So that's a really great option for our engineers. If your student is in a scholars program like Caldwell, Parks, Goodnights, they have scholarship opportunities. Honors provides it, TRIO provides it, and we have our own scholarship as well. So lots of funding options available for them. We talk to students about different fundraising options and payment plans. Basically, I will work with your student to make sure that they're able to participate in this if funding is a barrier for you. So happy to answer any more specific questions if folks have them about that. But to give you a sneak peek into our spring break trips, this is what we're looking at. So we've got 14 trips, both international and domestic for this upcoming year. Applications are due October 1st, so they still have a couple weeks to apply. All of the information is on our website, and we have several info sessions left. So if your student is interested in participating for this upcoming year for either spring break or May trip, we're happy to have them and we can connect with them around it. Last thing from me is that we have Pack the Polls ambassadors who are students who are helping other students find out about voter education. Obviously, we're in an election year this year, and so we have some sessions specifically set up so that our students can help your student understand what goes into the election process, making sure that they're prepared for the upcoming election, they're registered, they know how to submit an absentee ballot if that's the route that they're going. And one thing that I love to tell parents about is that we have an early voting site in Tally Student Union right on campus. So if your student isn't registered or if they're unsure about their registration status, they're welcome to show up during early voting and they can register that same day. It's kind of a one-stop shop where they can get registered and vote in that same timeline right in a building that they tend to spend a lot of time in general. So here's some options for students to learn a little bit more about voting process. And I'll give it back to Christina.
Awesome. So this is a great opportunity for first years and first year transfer students, especially to really get involved in within our office. It's an amazing program called Rising Leaders. It's a cohort-based program where first year students are connected with anywhere from 60 to 90 other first year students. We really intentionally focus in on peer mentorship. So every single participant that is a first year in the program is partnered with a peer mentor who's completed the program to really help in that transitional period. It can be a lot to try and adjust to college living, campus life in that first year, especially. And so being able to connect to a peer mentor who's done that process, who can talk about, parking, dining halls, all the things, signing up for academic classes and being able to kind of normalize that experience has been a very fruitful experience for a lot of our first year students that go through this program. We also have leadership workshops that we focus in on. And so we have 3 meetings within the fall that we have, and then we meet weekly in the spring semester. So if your students feel like, oh, I'm overwhelmed this semester, but maybe next semester I'm really interested in developing more leadership skills and traits, this might be the program for them, as we really have those 3 meetings that we have in the fall and then really kick off with our weekly meetings on Tuesdays from 4 to 6 p.m. So we cover topics like resume building. They even participate and create their own service learning project, which is a great way to, number one, learn those skills, those leadership skills, and also getting involved in the community and what are the actual needs within the community. We really focus in on Clifton strengths, public speaking. So whether your student's interested in becoming a resident advisor, maybe they're interested in research or figuring out the different ways to get involved, this is a great outlet to get started in as a first year student. And of course, that community, it can be really hard to find friends and find your people on campus, especially at a university so large. So being able to be connected to that 60 to 90 other first year students who are wanting to expand their leadership, who are interested in becoming those leaders on NC State's campus is a really great way to stay connected. We even have a LinkedIn group, so being able to stay connected in that way as well. We do numerous social events too throughout the year, kind of like that beautiful blend of leadership workshops while still having those fun activities throughout the year for them to build those social relationships. Then we have our leadership development program. So this is a 10-week leadership certificate. It's open to anyone. So graduate students, seniors, juniors, first years, second years, anyone can take this. Again, that's 10 workshops. Our fall just kicked off our fall cohort. They do Tuesdays and Wednesdays from 6 to 8 p.m. And then we will have another cohort running in the spring, same times on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. Basically, it's 10 workshops that are really focusing in on those intentional leadership skills like conflict management, leveraging your Clifton strengths, and really being able to focus in on individual leadership in that way. They engage in a self-selected leadership experience as well and are really able to focus in on that leadership experience that they're having so that they can then reflect and talk about the tangible experiences that they're having. And they get to be a part of that coaching relationship to really have that intentional relationship with a coach on campus and being able to further their leadership that they're wanting to do at NC State specifically, and then having that culminating experience with a written reflection at the end. And then we hope that you want to stay connected with student leadership and engagement. I all the time am telling students, subscribe to this newsletter, please, because this is a phenomenal way to learn more about ways to get involved on campus, what's happening, opportunities for service, engagement. We even plop in some internship opportunities right here. So this is a really great way for your students to stay connected to the amazing opportunities that we have all across campus. And we don't just put in things that are happening from student leadership and engagement. In this newsletter, we try and pull a little bit of everything so that we can ensure we offer that robust amount of involvement across campus. We're located in Tally on the 4th floor. So we're Tally 4210, and our email is listed here too. We send out weekly newsletters as well, just so that we can talk about all the great things that is going on across campus.
Okay, that is all from us. I think we're going to do some Q&A, so we'll toss it back over to our facilitators.
I have a question with regards to maybe the last slide. We talked about the leadership development program that started September 3rd. Can students still register for that program? Because we are past September 3rd.
So for this semester, they will not be able to participate because we've already started with our cohort, but we do run this program every single semester. So plenty of opportunity for them to get involved in spring. This is a really nice one that we like to plug for students because they can truly fit it into their schedule whenever it makes sense. So if they have a semester that might be a little less rigorous academically, this is a great addition to add. So unfortunately not for fall 2024, but starting in January, they can participate again.
And first-year students can apply for this program, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Thank you. Madison, do we have questions, please?
Yes. So can you elaborate on the ASB scholarship options for students?
Sure, yeah. So we have a travel award is what we call it through Student Leadership and Engagement. It's on the same website that all of the ASB information can be found on, which is on Student Leadership and Engagement's website. So that travel award is due the same day that the application is due for ASBs. And the reason we do that is so that we can offer a full package to your student. So when they're applying for Costa Rica, let's say, if they're offered that trip, they will also receive a certain amount of funding based on what they submitted. And the scholarship is not based on need or merit. It's based on what your student writes down. So we just have some questions around their interest, around expressing what their need is and how we can help fill that, and those types of questions that we based our answers off of and how much funding we're going to give those students. So that's our personal scholarship fund. But like I mentioned, there are other departments across campus that are also looking to support students to go on these high impact practices, as we call them. So as I mentioned, University Honors, Parks, Good Nights, Caldwell, all those scholarship programs, they all have funding that your students can apply for. And then some other departments have sponsored students in the past. So we just encourage them to ask the people that they're connected with on campus and their departments to see if they can get some supplemental funding. And then, like I said, we offer payment plans. So our payment plans extend all the way through May. So they'll work with me on what they feel comfortable paying over time. And then we also have some group fundraisers and some leads for individual fundraisers for students to be able to raise supplemental funds for it as well. So lots of options to help kind of fund an ASB trip for a student.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And what does the time commitment for Mystery Service Saturday look like?
Yeah, great question. So Mystery Service Saturday is a one-time event. So that service site that I showed y'all, which I'll sneak back to, this one, is where your students will sign up for Mystery Service Saturday. So it's linked on our website as well, but once they make an account on here, it'll populate the events that we have going on in student leadership and engagement, one of those being Mystery Service Saturday. So Mystery Service Saturday is just a day-long commitment, and usually it's from like 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. So it's a really great option for students who might not have a ton of time to get involved in community service but want to volunteer. Like I said, it's student-led, so they'll have a peer mentor who will take them to that nonprofit partner that day, who will lead them to that service and fun activity afterwards. So yeah, we're looking at just a couple hours of commitment, and everything is covered by our office, transportation, food, all of that. And they get to do something fun in Raleigh, which is always a win for students as well.
Perfect. How do you help students balance academics and involvement?
Christina, you want to take this one?
Yeah, absolutely. I think this is a great question. And we like to demystify too. Sometimes there's that misconception that those that are involved will see less academic success. And we've actually found that it's quite the opposite. Folks that are more involved tend to typically see greater academic success. When we're meeting with students and we're talking about the multitude of ways to get involved, it can sometimes feel overwhelming of like, okay, where do I start? How do I find balance with everything? And so we kind of have some tips and tricks that we offer. So trying something relevant, trying something familiar, and trying something new. That doesn't mean do all three of those things, but trying something relevant might be like, okay, for me, I'm studying nursing. And so maybe I really want to look into something that applies to pre-med as a student organization that I'm a part of. or maybe you're looking into something that is relevant or familiar to you. You were part of the golf team, and so you're wanting to continue that from your high school experience, and you're wanting to join that now here. Or you're wanting to try something that's completely new and something that could bring you joy, like trying a first time intramural sport. And so really we have those conversations for like, how do you find that balance? What are you looking for to either complement your academic workload, or are you wanting to try something new that can be a de-stressor? And so really within our office, we have our student leadership advocates who work at the front desk that are able to have a lot of those conversations with our students about what are they interested in getting involved in. We oftentimes have students come and stop by and they're like, I want to get involved. I don't know in what. How can you help me? And so that's really what we are here for, is to get you connected not only within our office, but all across campus. And so being able to connect with students in that way, and helping them and offer resources while also still talking about how academics need to be first priority.
What I'll add is that we have a scaffolded approach to leadership in our office. So all of the programs that we've talked about on here have student interns that help facilitate and run them. And a lot of those are paid positions. So we love when our students get involved as first year sophomores, wherever they choose to join us, and then having them stick with us so that they can develop their leadership skills in a safe environment where we're helping them talk about, like Christina mentioned, resume development, interview questions, all these things to professionally develop them, but give them some ownership over these programs for that peer-to-peer mentorship and leadership with the other students. But it's a great way for them to have paid employment on campus while also learning some of these skills and working on some really cool programs. So we love when students can stick around and work for us. And Christina does a great job developing our intern program and student employment.
Awesome. And for the last question, can out-of-state students vote on campus?
Yeah, that's a great question. Yes, so students are eligible to vote where they are from or where they live for campus, which would be Raleigh. So like I mentioned, if your student is looking to vote in their home state, they'll have to request an absentee ballot, which will be done through your own state's website. But if students are looking to vote here on campus, that early voting timeline is going to be their best bet, because they can just go straight up to the table, register, and vote all within the same sitting. And the people who work the early voting station are really well informed and can help answer any students any questions that your students might have when they approach them. If your student has questions prior to that, they're welcome to come visit us in Student Leadership and Engagement, which is Tally 4210. Our students and staff are really well versed in voting engagement and rights, and so we can help them kind of develop what their voting plan is. But yeah, defaulting to that voting early in Tally is going to be their best bet for out-of-state students.
I have a question for your team, please.
Sure.
So for students who really are passionate about alternative service break, are there opportunities for multiple trips, or these are just one-time opportunities?
Yeah, we love when people return because they can kind of be mentors for our new folks who are going on trips. So happy to have your student as many times as they would like. We see a lot of interest. So as I was mentioning, our scaffolded leadership model, we have student team leaders who run our alternative service breaks. They take a class with me, which is kind of a service learning class where they're learning skills of how to run these trips as well. So if your student gets really into it, they're welcome to have a leadership role with us and help plan some of these experiences and be that mentor for other students in the program. But yes, they're welcome to participate as many times as they would like. It is a competitive application process. We tell them this when they go through the info sessions with us, that they need to put some effort into their application. Last year, I think we had to reject 100 people from spring break because we had a lot of great interest. So we've increased our number of trips this year to hopefully accommodate the amount of people who would like to participate. But if your student is talking to you about ASB, recommend to them that they put effort into that application so that our team leaders have a lot to go off of for them, and they're welcome to apply as many times as they would like.
So one more question from my end. For parents who may be anxious about their students traveling to South or Central America, is there any information you can share to ease those concerns?
Yes, that's a great question. Yes, so we do very intensive risk management planning for all of our trips. So we have 2 student leaders and at least 1 advisor, which is a faculty or staff member who is traveling with your students. We have them register with NC State Study Abroad so that they know where all of our students will be during that time. We do extensive risk management planning of what the climate of the region that we're traveling to is and what to do in emergency situations. We collect a lot of emergency information from your students, so emergency contacts, dietary restrictions, allergies. We look up closest hospitals, medical clinics, all these different things to be prepared on our end. And then we do have on-call professionals at NC State while we're abroad that are our touch point if something is to come up, that they help us solve that problem and make sure that our students are safe. But the advisors and the team leaders go through many versions of risk management training to make sure that they're fully prepared to host these students abroad. And then our community partners that we work with abroad are very well vetted. We've worked with all of them previously, and we have intentional conversations with them as well around what to do in emergency crisis situations. A lot of them have medical professionals that are with our teams the entire time that they're abroad. So we take that very seriously. That's one of our top priorities. And I would be happy to chat if any parents have additional questions or specific questions for the country or region that your student will be traveling to. Feel free to email me. My information is on the Student Leadership Engagement website, and we can get you answers to any questions that you have.
I think that would ease a lot of concerns.
Yes,
of our
absolutely. And we
parents.
understand it's a priority for us too. We want to make sure that everybody is safe during these journeys.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. Can we go to the next slide, please?
Yes.
So these are just some reminders for parents. September 17th, in a couple of days, is Wellness Day. No classes, but the university will be opened. And on October 2nd, we have our third Facebook Live event for the semester. I am very passionate about study abroad. NC State has what it calls high impact practices, and Carly referenced that, which are activities that students need to be involved or participate to make them more marketable. And student involvement we've heard tonight is one of them. And study abroad is another high impact practice on this campus. So we know that October 9th, the schedule for the spring semester and summer will be published. So it's something to let your students know. And of course, fall break is scheduled for October 14th through the 15th. Next slide, please. Parents' Weekend, a great opportunity to come back to campus to experience campus life. It's in a couple of days. Also, we are encouraging parents to come to campus. Even if you do not sign up for any of our events, this is a great opportunity to spend some time with your students. So we hope you'll make it to campus, and we're looking forward to seeing you then. Next slide. So again, we've heard from parents, and hopefully we've been able to answer those questions. And as I said earlier, if you have any question or concerns not related to student involvement, please do not hesitate to contact the Office of Parents and Family Services. We want to make sure that as partners, we are supporting your efforts to make sure your student has an incredible college experience. And of course, student leadership would also love to hear from you should you have any additional questions or concerns. Next slide, please. Again, you can connect with us. We have our parents helpline, a phone number, and an email address that you can contact our office as early as tomorrow, should you have any questions or concerns. I do want to thank parents for joining us tonight, and I would like to also extend my gratitude to Carly and Christina for setting aside some time this evening to join us. This session has been very, very helpful, and we hope that parents will encourage their students to contact your office to get involved. And again, these are leadership opportunities that will prepare your students, not only while they're here on campus, but life after NC State. So thank you for your time. I would like to thank Madison and Monica. They've been working behind the scenes to ensure that this session is a success. So again, thanks everyone, and go Pack.